Right, let's go through some answers. So I'm going to do, we've got a double period, so we've got plenty of time to do this.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll do this properly, and you can see whether you've done the methods as well. So, in this, so we're talking, it's Unit 8 revision.
7. Unit 7.
No, it's Unit 8.
Yes, 8.2.
Unit 8 revision test. Okay, so it's end of Unit 8. So, we've got to do question 1A. We've got to find the answer to 10 divided by 5 plus 3. And this is all about doing things in the right order. So, division comes before addition. So, 10 divided by 5 is 2. 2 plus 3 makes the answer 5. Okay, so just an answer of...
Is that an 8?
Well, you know when you're marking someone's B, if it could be an 8 or a 5, it's going to be a 5, isn't it? It's an 8, is it? Right, next one. 3 times 6 plus 5 times 7. So,
3 times 6.
we need to do 3 times 6 and 5 times 7
18.
first, don't we? So we'll put the plus we do afterwards. So 3 times 6 is 18.
30.
5 times 7 is
35.
35. 18 times tables, isn't it?
I know the answer.
18 plus 35 is
54.
53.
Oh, Maggie, you got 54.
Right, well, I'll tell you what, guys, there are 2 marks for each one, so we'll go through and we'll attribute the marks afterwards. Okay?
I'm trying to do it in my head without looking.
So, C, 40 divided by 8 plus 10 divided by 2. Again, division first, we'll put the plus. 40 divided by 8 is?
45 divided by 8?
40 divided by 8 is?
6.
6?
No, it's 5, it's 5.
5, because it ends in a 0,
yeah,
so
5 times 8.
it's 5 times 8, yeah. 10 divided by 2 is? 5,
10.
so the answer is 10.
Basics.
Okay. Basics. D, 8 divided by 4 minus 12 divided by 6. So again, divisions. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. Subtract 12 divided by 6 is 2. The answer is 0. Okay. So with this question, the correct answers are worth 2 marks each. So double tick, we'll count the ticks that way. Double tick if you've got them both right. If the answer is wrong, okay, you can have 1 mark if they have done things in the right order. So for instance, if they've shown very clearly in their working that they've got something plus 3, so they've done this bit first, if it's clear they did that bit first and not just done, you know, 5 add 3 and so on, right? But they've done 10 divided by 5 is 3 or something. If they've made a mistake like that, or they've done 2 plus 3 equals 6, they've made a mistake, then they can get 1 mark. But it's got to be clear that they did that bit first.
But Mr. Potts, this is because you wrote 10 divided by 5 equals 5 plus 3 equals 8.
So what I did, what he did was, so he put 36 plus 18 equals...
Which question are we on?
B.
Well, I'm not on that one yet. Not on that one yet, am I?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Right, one at a time. So B. Again, 2 marks for 53, but if they've not got 53 right, they get 54 for some reason. Again, it's got to be clear that they did that and that separately, and then added them together, even if these are wrong. Right? If you wrote 36, that's wrong, isn't it? 3 times 6 is not 30, that's just putting them together.
Yeah, but Matthias put it just...
But you've got both answers right.
I know, but he put 3 times 6
Yeah.
then equals 18, then he put 5 times 7 equals 35, and then 52.
But that's...
So that counts.
Of course it does.
Okay, good.
But it's, be clear... Be clear... No, you didn't. It's got to be because you weren't clear in that you did this. Right? You wrote out in a line, I think. I think you did 10 divided by 5 equals 5 plus 3 equals 8. Right?
What
And
happens?
that in a line is just wrong. I've told you about writing things in a line, haven't I? So this is a definite no marks at all.
What if they got it correct? Oh, but they did it
Well, if
in
they
a
did
line.
10 divided by 5 equals 2 plus 3 equals 5, well, if you've done that, right, I'm going to say 1 mark, even though the answer's right, because I've told you about writing it out. Because 10 divided by 5 is 2, it is not equal to 2 plus 3. Okay, so you're making, we need to get you out of that habit. Okay?
Okay.
So not working in a straight line, working in columns is much better. Alright? So remember, because Ryan, you haven't done this in the past, and, right, they've got no marks whatsoever with any of that.
What? No.
Are you sure? Because I remember last time there were lots of marks you've missed out giving. I want you to concentrate. Put the plasticine away. I want you to concentrate. This is her paper you're marking. Big responsibility. Right, there's no marks for her whatsoever.
No.
For what?
Some of them
Working
have
out?
points and over it.
Yeah, well, has she ever shown that she has tried to do this first or this and this separately and then add them together, even if she's made a mistake?
No, the first one has 0.8.
What? I don't know. What did I put 0.8?
Anyway,
No, it's
well, we'll check afterwards, but Ryan, I want you to pay full attention, please. Right, question 2. It's 3 plus 12 divide by 3 equals 5. Okay, so we've got to put brackets in, right, to make that correct.
Remember to put in 12.
Okay, so there's only 2 options really, and so therefore it can either be like that or it can be like that.
Wait, so
3 plus 12 is 15. 15 divided by 3 is 5, so the 2 brackets should be there. That's the only place. And that is 2 marks. There's only 2 marks or no marks.
2
marks.
marks.
Put it
2
behind
marks.
you. Put it behind you.
So this Thomas, he, I don't know why, but he rubbed up the 5 right there.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's not part of the working, is it?
I thought we had
As
to.
long as the brackets are in the right place.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 marks.
Question 3. So we've got 486 divide by 2. Now, however you want to do this, sometimes it's easy. You just do this divide by 2. Well, you know it's going to be
It's half.
3, 4, 2. So the answer is 240.
If they didn't say that working out, but they got it right.
No, because I think that's easy enough. It's 243, okay, for 2 marks. If they didn't get 243 and there's no working, right, no marks. If they tried to work it out, right, so they showed some working but made a mistake that you can spot where the mistake is, but they got the wrong answer, give them 1 mark because they've tried to work it out. Okay? So we'll be generous. So that's question A. B, 980 divided by 4. So again, there's 2 ways to do this. I could do 980 divide by 2, then divide by 2 again. So 980 divided by 2 is 450 and 40, so 490. 490 divided by 2 is 245. Okay? So that's 1 answer. Yeah.
I don't know what working out is for which, because he's done a bit. I can tell for one I can tell for the one above.
What I would always say is if the numbers that he's used are quite clearly that question, then just don't try and be difficult about it. Just go, oh, that must be, even if it's delayed, but maybe you could write a little note like I would, this is not clear. But you always try and give someone the benefit of the doubt of going, all right, that looks like the answer to that question. There's no reason why you would have done that for any other reason.
What if they put the question, but they didn't show the working?
Well, we said that. Answer. Sometimes, like with a division, if you did divide by 2, divide by 2. I also look, for this one, 4 into 9 goes 2, remainder 1. 4 into 18 is 4, remainder 2. 4 into 20 is 5. They could have that working as well, okay? But a correct answer, 2 marks. Yes, Taylor.
He didn't. He wrote 2, and then he wrote 4, and then he only did it. He didn't write
But you got the correct answer.
Yes.
Then we know we got 2. We don't need to try and take marks away from someone, do we?
I'm just trying to see how.
Yeah. If I say the correct answer is, because with that one, divide by 2 can probably be done in your head, right? If they've done that, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We don't try. There's a tip for you. Don't try and take marks off by trying to find any reason. When I mark your work, I always try and give you the marks. I find any reason to give you the marks, unless I'm looking for something particular which you haven't done. So I'm not going to go, oh, there's the right answer, but you didn't write in blue pen and I said you had to. No marks. Right?
I would flip. I would go straight to
Yeah.
Mr. Tyson.
So 848 divided by 8. So I would do it this way. It's getting a bit long to do divide by 2, divide by 2. Right. So 8 into 8 is 1, remainder nothing. So it's 8, take away, I'll do it a bit differently. Bring the 4 down,
Nothing.
nothing. Bring the 8 down, 8
6.
into 48 is 6, make
Oh my God.
48.
I got it right.
Remainder nothing, so the answer is 106.
I got 101.
Okay?
Wait.
Well, again, guys, if there's 2 marks, alright, there's 2 marks. If you have quite clearly got it correct, 2 marks. If you've quite clearly shown a working out, but you've made one little mistake and you can identify where it is, and it's just a little mistake.
Yes, it's right. It's right here because we didn't take the 8 down when we couldn't fit the 8 into the
Into
4.
What do you mean?
So if you think there's a slight mistake, like give them 1 mark.
Oh, okay.
Because they're trying to use the right method.
Magnus, what do you mean?
Indolent. There's no need for that.
What? All the rest is right.
Don't worry, Magnus.
Me, I have everything right.
D. Okay. 204 divide by 12. So remember I was saying these ones are ones that you're going to have to show some working on.
I can't.
So 12 into 2, nothing. 12 into 20 goes 1, which makes 12. So that's remainder 8. 12 into 84 is 9.
9.
Yeah.
No, 8. 8.
Just checking you're paying attention. It's not 9, is it?
I was like, what, 9? And then I thought in my head, oh, God.
Yeah, don't ever just rely on what I'm saying. I'm checking if you're awake. So 12 into 84 is
7.
what? 7. There you
Oh my
go.
God, my boss had this.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the answer is 17.
Wait, can I just see this?
What did I get? Yes, 17. And that's for
I got one.
That's for D.
I think. Okay, listen.
He got
18 remainder 4.
But I didn't carry down the 4. I put 80. There's a nice mistake. Right there.
Right. What we'll do, again, if he's made that mistake, is 1 mark. You can have the 1 mark. However, I need you now, Thomas, when you get that back, because you've made the same mistake twice, you need to get that sorted.
Yeah.
That's a good thing about this test, it gets it sorted. Okay, so, next question then, 2 marks for this. What is the remainder when 95 is divided by 11? So we should do 95 divided by 11. Well, we know that really 11's, we just do the 11 times table this time, can't we?
Yeah, it's
And we know 88 or 99, so that's 11 times 9, and that's 8. Sorry, 11 times 8. So that's the answer.
But,
No, sorry, I'm writing the wrong thing, aren't I?
see,
The answer is 8, which makes 88, and the
But then you have to minus
remainder is, what's the remainder?
What?
7.
What are you
7 remainder.
Sorry,
wait. Hold on. I messed up. So I actually put 8. See here.
He put 8.
I put 75 divided by. No, I put
95.
95 divided by 11, which would be 8. I put 8.
Yeah,
Then, I put under the working out, I put 88 minus 95.
and you got the remainder.
Yes, but I got remainder 13.
You kind of have to do it the other way around, Tommy. 95
Yeah,
over 88.
Yeah, but the
You had
thing is,
88
by question 4, I actually put the sum and then 8.
Right, well I would say from that again, the remainder we should answer, I want to see the answer remainder 7.
No way.
Okay, alright. Or, if you've done this, I want you to circle it to say that's the answer. If you've just written this out and left it, you lose a mark, I'm afraid.
Well, I put equal.
Right, hang on. Right, if you've got the remainder wrong, okay, then but you've done the right process, you've got 8 on top, but you've done the wrong subtraction, then you get 1 mark. Okay,
1 mark.
but I'm being a bit strict with this one. No,
If I wrote
no,
R equals remainder.
no. R7. Okay, that's right.
Okay,
It's
so you have to
R7.
say
It's
that.
very clear. All right.
I don't
Now
know
the
why-
reason is I'm going to be strict because it's one of those you have to learn to answer the question.
That's right.
Okay. So 1 tick. If you haven't written remainder is 7.
Add to it, a remainder.
Even
seven.
remainder.
As long as it's clear. If I wrote 8 remainder 7, that's fine. As long as I write remainder 7. But you've got to answer the question, what is the remainder?
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, you.
I can't read this.
Like I said, give the benefit of the doubt. If it's clear that he's got a 7 as a remainder,
It's like, it's rubbed out, it's like faint.
could you read it if you tried? Even if it's if it's clear he's rubbed it out and he didn't want it answered, then don't use it. Okay? I would always go, if you've rubbed it out, what I would probably do is circle it and say this was correct, but I wouldn't give the mark because you rubbed it out, so you didn't know it was correct. That's what I would do. Yeah? If it hasn't been rubbed out, it's just a faint pencil, then give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay? It's all about, with these tests, guys, it's all about have you shown the knowledge, have you shown the ability to do it, not have you been spot on. But little things like that last one is what I'm testing there is, do you answer the question? Alright, not just can you do division. Do you read the question thoroughly? So let's do the next one. 5a. We've got 8.4 divided by 100. Now, this one, we don't really need any working because when we divide by 100, we know we move the numbers 2 to the right. So we have 0.084. Okay? So that one is, now for this, that's 1 mark. 1 mark for that, because it's easy. And then we've got 0.9 divided by 100 is 0.009. Excuse me. Right, that's 1 mark too, because they're too easy. The next ones are worth 2 marks. So C, 13.2 divided by 20. Now, they're worth 2 marks. There's lots of ways to do this. For me, do you remember we worked through and said, well, that is the same as doing 13.2 divided by 10 and divided by 2. Is an easy way of it. Now, you could have done the 13.2 divided by 20 if you wanted. That's fine. Okay? Whichever method you use. But the answer is, so 13.2 divided by 10 would be 1.32. And if I then divide that by 2, so I can do 1.32 divided by 2 gives me 0. So 2 into 13 goes
That goes
6, which makes
remainder 1.
12, okay, which leaves remainder 1, and then 2 into 12 again is 6. So the answer is 0.66. However you do it. Now if you did it this way, you'd have got the same answer. Have a decimal here, okay. Go 20 into 13 goes nothing, so 20 into 132
Goes 66.
would be 6, and then work out the remainder and so on. You'd have ended up with the same thing. So you'd have ended up with the same answer. So that's 2 marks.
So he got 1 mark because like
Because I
he
wrote
did the working, but
66.
he worked.
No, I don't think it's as easy as saying 66 is worth 1 mark.
But he did the exact working out correctly. So that's 1 mark.
But he's put the answer 66.
But he did everything.
But I think this one is a real. The test is, can you multiply with decimals and no. Come on, guys. Tamar, sit down. Thomas, stop playing with all your toys. Okay, this one I'm going to be a bit tougher on. I've given lots of marks for methods, but if you give an answer like 66 instead of 0.66, no, listen to me. Right, in this case, I'm not going to give the marks for an answer like 66. Right, because he should have known that the answer wasn't going to be 66. You cannot get 66 20s in 13.2. Not possible. Yeah? Now, what I will say is if you've done your division, right, but you've made a slight mistake and you've ended up with an answer like 0.63 or 0.48, like mistake again, then you can have 1 mark. See, I would say that is a less of a mistake than putting an answer of 66. Do you understand the difference? You appreciate the difference? Okay, good. So you've got 66, 0.66 for 2 marks, something with the right method with an answer that's roughly right, but 1 mistake, that's 1 mark. Okay, and then 4.8 divided by 400. Again, I would say 4.8 divided by 100 divided by
100. No, divided by
200.
4.
4. Well done.
You can make it a quarter. Like half, quarter and stuff.
Right, okay, so this time I'm going to divide by 100 first, which is 0.048, and then I'm going to do 0.048 divided by 4. Okay, so I'm putting a decimal, I've got 0, 0, 4 into 4 is 1, 4 into 8 is 2, so the answer is 0.012. Now that's such an easy one. There's 2 marks for right, nothing for not right. Okay?
But I'm so sorry, you have to actually.
He had a question mark.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, definitely correct.
Okay, question 6. A calculator costs £6. So we've got to think one calculator costs £6. Okay? How many calculators can you buy? So how many with £100? So we talked about this, about how you know it's division. And so it's how many. We've got to share 100. How many 6s go into 100, don't we? So we do 100 divided by 6. Now be careful that you don't do 6 divided by 100.
Because that's going to be...
It's the other way around,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I did in my head, I did.
Well, should we get the answer rather than you? Yeah.
Okay, I just say
Afterwards you can tell us, definitely. 6 into 1, nothing. 6 into 10,
1.
once, that's 6. Remainder,
Remainder 4.
4.
Break down the
6
zero.
into 40,
Which is 6, remainder 3. No, 4.
so 6.
Remaining.
6 times 6 is
That's
36, remainder
4.
4. Bring in a
0.
decimal point and a 0. Okay, 6 into 40. Again, 6. Remainder, so that's 3.6. Remainder 4.
Wait, how's it 3.6?
Because I've ignored the decimal point. 6 times 6 is 36.
Oh, so the thing is, you can't buy
We'll discuss that at the end. That's why it's worth 2 marks. So what happens, it's going to keep going like that, isn't it?
Recurring number.
Well, it's a recurrence, so it's going to be 6, 6, 6, 6.
Do a dot.
Okay. So what we would write is it's 16 point, as you said, Tamar,
6 with the dotty.
6 with a dot.
And
Okay.
it's just 60.
Now the other way to think about it, which you're perfectly happy with, is say, well, 6 times £6 is £36. So I have, I didn't want to do that. 6 times £6 is £36. We can do 10 times £6 is £60. I've still got plenty to spend. Okay. 16, therefore, lots of £6 is £96. And suddenly you go, actually, I've got £4 left over. Right? So I can't go any further. So actually my answer is 16 calculators. That's it.
That's wrong, Tommy.
But I did.
No, 16.8.
Oh, wait.
That's-
As you quite, guys,
One or two things.
guys. So if you wrote 16 calculators, exactly 16 calculators, you get both the marks. If you wrote 16.66666 calculators, right, or 6 with a dot above it, 1 mark. Because as you said, you can't have 0.66666 calculators. Understand?
That'll be just a part of the
It'd
calculator.
be part of the calculator. Yeah, it'd be 2/3 of the calculator. So you get all the buttons but not the screen. Alright? Now this is an example of where division in real life. So you don't necessarily need to do any of this. So once I've got to this point here, actually, with my division at this line, when I've got a remainder of 4, I should just stop because I've not got enough. As soon as I have to go to decimals, when it's a real life thing, I don't need to. But also there's this method, isn't it? Just how many £6 can I actually use until I've got not enough left? Just like you would do in a shop. You wouldn't go to a shop and go, oh, I've got enough money for 4.38 Mars bars. Please, can I have that many? They wouldn't give it to you, would they?
They cut it up.
They cut up your Mars bar and they go, there you go. Anyone else want 0.62 of a Mars? No. So,
I'm probably the weirdest shop in the world.
question 7 then. £33. Okay, again, nice and easy. Shared equally between 5 children. So it's divided by 5 children. How much do they each get? Now again, this is a situation where 33 doesn't divide by 5, does it?
No.
So we just need to find the nearest number that does.
6.
So we know £6 each. Okay? That would make a total of
30.
£30.
And then the
With £3
for the parents.
left over. Now, hang on, this is
Win-win.
slightly different because, I think Tamar did this the other day, £3 can be shared.
Yeah, it can.
Exactly. Because you can have pence. Okay?
On
So,
50.
We can have pens.
so what we can do is say, well, let's share £3 with 5 people. So, here's the question then. What do each person get?
£6.70.
£6.70 when I've got £3.
Oh, no.
So 5 lots of, you think 70 pence makes
£3. Yes.
£3.50. That's not right. I can't have that one.
No,
I wrote 70.
I'm just saying what Magnus wrote.
Yeah?
Thomas
Well, that means
7.5.
4 lots of, 5 lots of,
65. No, 60 maybe.
let's do 5 lots of 6, because now we're doing a kind of trial and error method, which is fine. 5 lots of 60p makes
3.56
5 sixes are,
30.
so that would make £3. So there's the answer. So your answer is exactly, what is it? £6.
£6.30.
60 pence. £6.60.
Professional!
Okay, so
you two.
obviously £6.60 for 2 marks. If you've got £6 something else, so you knew you had to split it up but you did a mistake, you can have 1 mark.
What
Okay?
happens if you...
If you wrote only the £6 and put £3 left over, unfortunately I'm not going to give you it because you should know that the pounds can be spread out. That's what this question is about. Okay? because you wouldn't do it here, would you? If you had, if you were sharing out money between your mates and you ended up with 3 francs left over,
You'd be in trouble. I
you'd
shared it. I get
share it all out again.
I paid everybody. I get it.
Alright, now obviously with a question like this, you could have done 33 divided by 5 is 5s into 33, goes 6, makes 30, left over with 3, bring the decimal place down, 0, 5s into 3 again, 5s into 30 goes 6, that makes 30, nothing left over, but 6.6 is actually in money 6.60, so £6.60. So actually that's why I would insist on it there being £6 and something, right? A knowledge of money. Okay?
1, 2,
Alright?
3, 4,
That means your mark should be out of 30.
I got 10 wrong.
Add up your score, add up the score and write it down for them, please.
I'm gonna get the point.
Right,